how much better would your relationships be if you went into every conversation with huge positive intention? One of the guys that I'm coaching is trying to become a great listener, but what's kept him back from doing that is continually forgetting to bring this intention into conversations. So I shared with him a practice that I call the 5+5 practice, and it really helped him to overcome this forgetfulness and level up his listening. So I'd like to share the 5+5 practice with you because I promise you that if you practice this, it'll help you to become a better friend, better family member, and a better human being, as it's helped me to do so. So in a nutshell, the 5+5 practice is taken 5 minutes before meeting someone to set intentions and 5 minutes afterwards for reflection. But before I get into what that actually looks like, what's the point of doing this? However you want to show up in your relationships, whether it's with more presence, more kindness, more patience, the 5+5 practice can help you to do so. So it's worth taking some time first to think, which quality do you want to embody more in your relationships? So for example, if it's more presence, well, even if you hold that intention, it's quite hard to actually remember that and take action on it, isn't it? Because we're so forgetful as human beings. And that's where the 5+5 practice can help. So the first half of the 5+5 practice is taken 5 minutes before meeting someone to set intentions. And to show you how this works, I'll give you an example of the last time that I used this when I was meeting my friend Alex. So the first thing I did was I arrived 5 minutes early before meeting Alex. And this is the first thing that you want to do, arrive 5 to 10 minutes early before meeting someone. Then you want to ask yourself the question, how do I want to show up with this person? So I asked myself the question, how do I want to show up with Alex? And the answer was, I wanted to bring lots of positivity. I wanted to really brighten up Alex's week with as much positivity as I could. And so that was the intention I set. And like I said, for you, it could be more presence, more kindness, more patience. But whatever intention you have, you want to set that. The next thing that you want to do is to drop everything. And what this means is taking some time to put aside everything else that's on your mind, everything that's gone on in your day or in your week. And for me, it was telling myself that this time with Alex is just for him. So I'm going to do my best to give 100% of my presence to Alex while I'm with him. And so taking some time to drop everything can help you to be more present with that person. And then the last thing that I did, which is something that you can do if you've got some time, is kind of like a mini loving kindness practice. So before Alex arrived, I took some time to bring him to mind, and I thought about Alex just being really happy, and I kind of visualized me bringing all of this positivity and it really brightening up his day. And what this does, it kind of just fires up that motivation. And just taking this 5 minutes beforehand to set intentions really made it a positive time with Alex. So that's one example of how I use this. Another example is often with my mom. So my mom's a really great person, but sometimes she can really piss me off. And when she's in a bad mood, I often get quite reactive and we end up in these silly arguments. But just taking 5 minutes beforehand when my mom's in a bad mood, taking 5 minutes to set intentions really helps. So I asked myself that question, how do I want to show up with my mom? And usually the answer is, I want to be more patient, more kind, more loving. And setting that intention, I find, really helps to diffuse the situation. And yeah, it just helps us avoid getting into those silly arguments. So that's 5 minutes for intention. And the second half is taking 5 minutes for reflection afterwards. And what this is about is really soaking up all of the goodness that was generated in that conversation or interaction. It's easy to forget to do this because usually after you finish meeting someone, you want to just move on to the next thing or pull out your phone or to go home. But I find that just taking some time to pause really helps. All you want to do is after meeting someone, take 5 minutes to pause and just appreciate that person's presence in your life and to cultivate some gratitude. I find that when I don't do this, all of that love and connection and positivity that was generated in that conversation kind of just gets pissed away. But when I do take the time to do this, to cultivate some gratitude and contentment, it kind of suffuses into the rest of my life, and it just makes everything that you do a lot better. So that's the 5+5 practice, a small but powerful practice that I think anyone can benefit from. And I use this not just in conversation, I also use this when I'm coaching people. I use this for my jiu-jitsu training sessions. I use this when I'm practicing meditation. I think in anything that you do, just taking 5 minutes beforehand to set intentions and 5 minutes afterwards for reflection can really help you out. So what are you going to do about it? Remember that transformation only comes from action. And don't take yourself too seriously.